Hey Pisces, what's up? Welcome to my channel. My name is Katie and this is the final attempt for a reading for Pisces today. I say that because I've tried to record this reading several times and let's just say it hasn't been flowing exactly. So if any little tiny bit of anything happens in this particular recording, I'm going to put the cards down for Pisces and just leave it like that for as long as I need to until the messages are really wanting to come forward. Initially, the plan was to do a past, present, and future spread using only oracle cards. That's what I intend for this reading. And I hope that it really brings in everything that could be of service to you, Pisces. This is good for Pisces Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus. And my intention is for this reading to clarify, bring confirmation, accurate predictions, really good advice, all of that for Pisces, especially those watching. Recent past, never-ending story, present moment, chop wood, and your future, happy. Time to go. Wow. Okay, Pisces, let's see what this is about. There are cycles here. Not even cycles. These are just like almost like labyrinths is what it feels. Never-ending stories, round and round and round, going in the same direction, always trying to like cut loose from a pattern, from a story that repeats itself, and always somehow finding a way of landing in that pattern again. Some of you have had a hard time outgrowing certain aspects of yourself. First, you have to have the experiences, right? Enough times for you to wonder what's wrong. Then comes the time in which you're like, why? Like, how are these experiences similar? And you see the pattern. Why are they repeating themselves? What does it mean? What part of me is bringing this into existence? What is the point of attraction? Where did it come from? How can I heal it? What do I need to learn, right? The never-ending story of that whole process, basically. The thing is, you're very used to this process, this healing process that is always happening in some area or another. But there seems to be something here that you haven't quite figured out. Something, especially if you are 37, if you are born on the 10th, there is something that you still haven't found a way around. It may be a never-ending story that has been that way for as long as you remember. Round and round, layers and layers, almost pushing you to the same lesson in different, shapes and forms, but the same lesson. And some of you could be quite frustrated. You may be like, I don't know what I don't know. Like, universe, if you want me to understand something, show me, teach me, move me. But for some of you, it just feels like a continuous block. This one is not a oracle reading per se. I'm using an oracle, but I call those readings oracle readings when I read from the booklet. But in this case, I just want to take a little glance here. what part of you is seeing this repetitive cycle accurately and productively, and what part of you is it just eye rolling at anything that feels similar to past experiences? I'm gonna read the whole thing. I wasn't going to. It wasn't one of those readings. Now, if you are one of those Pisces that don't like me to actually read from the booklet, then you can go to the next reading. That's absolutely fine. However, I think that there is a lot here to unpack, and I'm not just gonna brush off, all of this. There's a lot here. So let's actually read the message. This is from The Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Never-ending story. There's a story woven through the imperfect fabric of life that tells us of hurt, loss, rejection, humiliation, self-loathing, and arrogance, and all matters of suffering born from unnecessary drama. It is the old story whose refrain is that you cannot do this, must not go there, should not say that, lest your world comes crumbling down. Today, know that none of this is actually true. The sky is not falling. The voice you hear is just a small, scared, conditioned part of you that got stuck in a lie somewhere. Wants to protect you and needs to be seen as a victim. Love that lost piece of you. Fear is all it knows. Distorted guidance is preventing you from being your true self. You are not your story, and the narrator is simply the voice of your fearful part, small and vulnerable and easily soothed. Never-ending story. What has held you back one times too many? One time too many, or whatever. So with the jump wood, in the present moment, you're being called to focus on the repetitive, tiny, almost mechanical tasks that you need to do. It's like in the present moment, in the here and now, doing those things is where the magic happens. That's where the doors open, the portal opens up, and that's how the change can come in. The progress can really solidify itself. And don't try your best right now to value the tiny things. Don't feel like you're over any role or over any particular job. Find the wisdom, find the magic, find the essence of, the whole chopping wood and carrying water. Don't let your ego tell you that you're too special for that. Don't let your ego tell you that there are more glamorous things to be doing. Focus on the details. Focus on the things that need to be done, need to get done. Focus on the mundane tasks, the habits. Like that, I think it was Will Smith. I have mixed feelings about Will Smith after the big slap thing, but he did share something that I really appreciated once. I don't know if this is his particular story, but if you ever want to make or create a big wall, a perfect, incredible wall, don't focus on building that perfect, incredible wall. Focus on placing every brick in the most beautiful, incredible way that you can. And before you know it, you're going to have that wall, right? And it's the same here. They're telling you, don't get overwhelmed, don't get sidetracked, don't get impressed by all that something can be, to the point in which you stop doing what you need to do in the here and now to get there. It's so easy to dream and explore and plan, think ahead, and, basically get lost in a very beautiful daydreaming of everything you want to live. But they're reminding you here that it's in the present moment, in the here and now, where you can take action, and only then and there the change happens. You're headed towards happier spaces. But it is time for you to go from this never-ending story. There is something here that you have outgrown, something here that has been long overdue and ready to be let go of. This could have been a particular emotion, a particular toxic pattern, toxic habit, an addiction. This could be that little voice that tells you that is the person that is holding you back. Or someone must have done something to you, and that's why you can't do what you need to do. Like, they're little fears, quiet little fears that it's time to go. It's time to let those go for good. Otherwise, you're gonna get stuck in this never-ending story, Pisces, and that's just not it. Card number 42. There is victory that can be achieved if you just sit down. I'm seeing someone like polishing something. And then we have the happy card in the near future. I see a hummingbird right there. Hummingbirds, they bring joy. You know, they bring that ancestral company. You know, our ancestors, passed on loved ones, memories, joy, happiness. They sort of remind us of the sweetness of the nectar of life. And they remind us that everything is possible. Even things that are not supposed to be possible are possible. And that's because, you know, as birds, the hummingbird actually has a lot of qualities that other birds just don't have. They can be hovering, they can fly full speed ahead and come to a dry stop all of a sudden. They can move up, down, to the sides. They can just hover in place. They can do long distances. And technically, that's not really a thing that birds do. Like hover in place like bugs and just like move around like that. But it's possible for them. And it is said that it's because of the joy that they allow in their lives, in their hearts somehow. I see here that some of you are going to be celebrating a birth. Your child or someone else's child, maybe even like a younger sibling or something like that. But there is a celebration here. I see a newborn. And I see how joy and the enjoyment of the day-to-day is what's unlocking your future. But there is a need to let go of the drama, like the supercharged emotional tone that has been given or placed like a filter on top of things. It's not letting you see things for what they are. It's like you're seeing them for who you have become in that sense. So that's why they're also bringing you down into the physical. They're telling you, if you just do the thing, go through the steps, go through the motions, right? Chop your wood and carry your water. It's like you're not letting all of these emotions take the best of you. You're not letting all of these both daydreams or like resentments drag you either down or up. It's like you are in the present. And as long as you remain in the present, that's where change is happening. So do the boring thing. Do the mundane, boring tasks, repetitive tasks, things that maybe you feel are not going to amount to anything. Just do those, mechanically almost. And you're going to see that those little tasks are the ones that make a difference. There's moments and times to see the big picture and envision all these plans and all these things that we could do and all of the things that we want to experience and bring about. And there's times in which action needs to be taken. And that's what I'm seeing here, Pisces. I hope that you enjoyed this reading. I'm sending you all my love. I hope that you're doing very, very well. I'm very grateful because we actually did finish this reading. I honestly thought we might not. So, yay. I'll leave everything in the description box below, and I just want to thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, my loves.